In new music we trust on BBC Radio 1.
In new music we trust on BBC Radio 1.
Trust us to bring you the best new music
from across the UK and from around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This morning from 3 a.m. BBC Radio 1's Essential Mix.
The Essential Mix. Now over on BBC Radio 1 Extra.
The hip-hop continues with Charlie Sloth.
The hardest hip-hop out there right now.
In new music we trust
on BBC Radio 1.
Stop.
Now.
Let's go.
KUTSKI on Radio 1.
Hardcore.
DJ KUTSKI. BPMs faster than a subatomic particle accelerator.
Turn up your speakers, cause it's getting harder.
Ready to groove.
Mirror, look a bit thinner. Usually MC's not for your dinner. Usually MC's not for your dinner. Usually MC's not for your dinner.
Bass.
Harder, faster, harder, faster, harder.
Top one, nice one gets sorted.
Yes, welcome to the show. Massive respect to the man, Judge Jules, representing trance music at its finest. All the biggest club room tunes you're going to hear anywhere. That's part of Friday nights on Radio 1. It's all about the dance music. With Pete Tong, Annie Mac, Jules, and then as soon as it hits 1 a.m, you get myself. We take things into the harder and darker realm. The sounds of hard dance and hardcore with me, KUTSKI, on Radio 1.
In KUTSKI we trust every Friday night on Radio 1.
IHDS kicking the show off. One of the biggest hard trance classics from back in the day, back in 2000 when this originally came out of Italy. Definitely moved the scene on a lot. And this is the rework from Neal Thomas, Liverpool-based producer, adding his techie angle to this classic. Coming up on the show tonight, hard dance, hardcore rave music, that's what it's all about for the next 2 hours. We have a feature that we call Snap, Crackle, Drop, where we dig out an old vinyl every week. We're going with some hardstyle this time, early hardstyle vibes. We have the hardest record in the world right now from a guy called Death Machine. That doesn't say it all for you. And we've got a breakbeat hardcore guest mix. CLSM in the house. But before we get into all that business...
Hello.
Radio 1.
It's time to get straight in the mix. The flavours of hard dance on a worldwide tip this week. And up first, keeping things on that techie vibe as we build the groove. This is of course Cassius, I Love You So. But representing the harder sounds all the way from Plymouth. This is the Joey Bootleg. Check it out and turn it up.
This is KUTSKI'S on Radio 1. KUTSKI, KUTSKI, Radio 1. Wind up your waist. All right. Yeah, boy.
Truly international collaboration on this one. Guy from America goes by the name of Mindbender. Remember some of his hard trance releases, I think it was on Translation a good few years ago. He's still in the game. And this is his latest track, Bass on Acid. And this one's forthcoming on International Hard Dance Sessions. And to bring the truly international vibe on it, Nish from Japan on the remix. Bringing the heavy dubby beats on this one. Still to come in the mix. Signum Classic up for a remix. And brand new John the Baptist and Chucky. We've got Snap, Crackle, Drop. The hardest record in the world. And CLSM Guestmix. So make sure you keep it locked on Radio 1. This is KUTSKI.
Every Friday night on Radio 1.
Winding up the hard dance mix, it's John the Baptist and Chucky featuring Natski. It's never too late. Some shouts for the Facebook crew, got in touch during the week. Big up to Kelly from Ashington, it's her birthday this weekend. Big up, happy birthday Kelly. Shout to Rick and Keenan from Newcastle. Big up all the Geordie Massive. I was up there at a gig the other week at Digital. That place is going off. Big shout to Liz, Stefan, Chewy and the Rico crew. And also shout to Craig and all the Edinburgh Massive. We've got in touch on Facebook. If you want to get in touch with us there, just hit us up, search for the group on there, DJ KUTSKI.
Ready to groove.
Radio 1.
KUTSKI plays hard dance and hardcore.
Okay, one more before we get into Snap, Crackle, Drop. We're going for some hardstyle. But before that, this is the Organ Donors Rework of one of the biggest trance tunes of 2006, and it's been one of the biggest tunes in my club sets of 2011. It's the Organ Donors on the Rework with Marcel Woods. This is Advance.
Expect big, fast, heavy beats.
Okay, next up, it's time for my new favourite feature of the show. I've decided it's time for Snap, Crackle, Drop. I've always been a big fan of playing vinyl. I think I was like the last guy on the scene that was still dragging around like 90 records to every gig while people had, a nice little cosy CD wallet. I've had to move with the times now, but this is my excuse to take things back to the old school and dig out a vinyl every week. And this time we're going with something hardstyle right back from the early days. Hardstyle kind of really kicked off around 2000 in the underground. This one is from 2003. And it was a big track for a certain artist on the scene who went on to be very, very big indeed. And I think you might have heard of him. All the way from out in Japan, this guy, he's changed his name and shortened it a few times to make it easier to pronounce. But we're going to go with his full name from back in the day. This is Yoji Biomehanika with Hardstyle Disco. Turn it up! such a massive tune still. I think that's kind of like the perfect balance between a massive anthem and a forgotten classic. It's like a lot of people, obviously, if you were into the sound back then, they'll remember it. But I think it might be new to a lot of people too. But I think one thing's for sure, you can still play it on the dance floor now, and it's definitely going to be doing some damage. That's Yoji Biomehanika with Hardstyle Disco, who then went on to be Yoji B, and now just Yoji, just nice and easy now. A lot easier for us radio presenters, trust me. But let's keep things on this Euro tip.
Could you guys please stop scratching?
Radio 1.
As now we bring things bang up to date. Up front, European hard trance and hardstyle. This is the brand new Luca Antolini.
Harder, Koski. Harder.
I want everyone to be honest with me, okay? Okay. I want everyone out here tonight that have ever loved and lost before to raise your hand. Let me see, it ain't no big thing. All right. I love it. Throw your head up in the air.
Another dance floor killer for me. DJ Isaac versus Skrillex, Throw a Monster. One of the best little mashups I've had in a long time. And before that, Noise Controllers, Gimme Love. That's on their new label Digital Age that they've set up with Wild Styles, massive big summer tune. And before that in the mix you heard the brand new Show Tech featuring Lexi. Music on My Mind. I haven't had a solo track for them for quite a while now, representing a much lighter, happier vibe to the hardstyle sounds.
In KUTSKI we trust every Friday night on Radio 1.
All right. Is there anybody out here tonight that in love? Let me see. For those of you that are truly in love, this song is for you.
Defqon 1.
Yes, this one in the background now, another Noise Controllers track, and quite relevant tonight as it's the official anthem for the Defqon 1 festival in Holland held tomorrow. Big up to everyone travelling over there in a few hours. I know there's a lot of you out there. I've seen you all on Facebook, Twitter, all over the internet. It's crazy, it's almost like, for hardstyle fans, it's like the cup final is to football fans. It's just like people travelling everywhere to go and see all the artists. Which means if you're playing there, you've got to bring your A game.
Defqon 1. Explosions of colors across the horizon, stealing away the darkness of the night. the darkness of the night with the energy of thousands. We will unite. Defqon 1.
Radio 1. KUTSKI.
That say.
Okay, one more track before we get into this week's guest mix. Sounds of breakbeat hardcore courtesy of CLSM. We'll be catching up with them very shortly. But first is a little track that I've picked up on a label recently, Dirty Stopouts. I just like the name of it at first, listened to a couple of records on it. Turns out they're really banging tracks on it, pumping out some really grindy beats. And this one is by Andrew Tin, and he calls this one Atmosphere. Okay, next up, time for something very exciting. You may have heard over the last couple of weeks I've been playing some crazy breakbeat hardcore bits. You know, some of it's kind of on an old school vibe, some of it's on a drum and bassy vibe, some of it's just right out there. And it's been coming from a particular camp that many of you will know as CLSM from the hardcore. And we've got John and Matt in the studio. How's it going, guys?
Hello. Very good, thank you.
So what's it all about then? How did all this come about?
It started off where I was going to do a breakbeat kind of album, realised I wouldn't have enough tracks, or if you did wait for all the tracks it'd take me like 2 years to do, so I started asking other producers just through email, Facebook to get some tracks over.
Cool. So what type of sound is it, for people that kind of have never heard this sound before? Can you try and describe it, sum it up?
I suppose it's like drum and bass, except without the confines of drum and bass. It's the very sort of essence of rave, where you've looked at any kind of music and you can take influences from anywhere, drum and bass, dubstep, old school, all these kind of influences just going into one big melting pot. And when I'm speaking to the other producers saying, hey, can you do this? I'm not saying like drum and bass, but with this, I'm just saying it needs to be roughly this speed and with a breakbeat, and off you go. And they're coming back with some really interesting stuff. So what have you got in the mix for us? You've got a 30-minute exclusive. Yeah, there's loads of tracks from loads of different artists. There's some sort of crazy stuff out there, but yeah, it's all hopefully good new music. That's the idea behind the whole project. And breaking down the boundaries. This is CLSM in the mix on Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1.
Music is changing into the future. I can see universe expanding. Bring back my harmony. Music is changing into the future. I can see universe expanding. Bring back my harmony.
BBC Radio 1.
Music is changing. Bring back the 303.
to that fat bass.
Yeah, CLSM in the mix on Radio 1, representing their new breakbeat hardcore sound. And I have to say, guys, this is the thing. I'm talking to Matt now from CLSM. It's kind of, is it hard to write music that doesn't fit into a particular genre? Because that's what I always think, if you're making hard trance, then you know the rules that you do, but when you kind of go and you start something completely different, how do you find that process of writing music?
Well, personally, from a kind of selfish point of view, I've been able to take influences from genres that maybe haven't been done before. Like, the stuff that I've been doing is more techie drum and bass and freeform based, and it's nice to be able to fit all that into one track. So it's, yeah, you can basically just take all the influences from the music you love and bundle it all up into one piece of music. And how have you been finding it, John?
I tend to struggle with all elements of it and just muddle through, and I'm problem solving all of the time. We've been experimenting with recording as well. We had a good recording session. We had a guy out in Bristol, and we went out to a park in Bristol and recorded this MC called Noodles. But unfortunately, the downside of recording in the park is this guy came across and started harassing him, and they almost got into a fight. And so this MC...
There's a song dedicated to this on the mix, is there?
Yeah, this MC then wrote a whole track where he wrote references to this guy saying we don't need no fat controller after speaking to this guy in the park. It was really interesting.
Cool. So that one's going to be coming up in the mix, no doubt. And what's in the background now?
Good question. DJ Ned, Diving.
Excellent. Right, let's get back to the music.
BBC Radio 1.
We don't need no flight controller.
BBC Radio 1.
CLSM in the mix. Pioneering breakbeat hardcore sounds. Awesome mix, guys. So where do you plan to go with this sound now? You know, it's kind of like, what's the next level? You've got the music out there. Are you going to be taking it out on tour? Are you going to be doing it at raves? Taking over back rooms of clubs?
Do you know, I think we're just going to concentrate on the music, keep it going, keep the involvement going. That last track is actually a hard dance guy, Joey, under a different name, High State, doing a remix. And it's good to have involvement from labels like Tidy Tracks giving us the nod to be able to remix stuff. And I think it's just keeping going on the music, keeping releasing on our little store, and keep going with, we're going to do some compilations and things like that.
So just keep making the music and let the DJs pick it up and see where it runs to from there.
Yeah, and hope our technical team, known as Matt, can keep up with the store.
We've completely redone the website, and it's completely new software. It's all been modernised, and it's really easy to use, and it's going really well.
State of the art.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Excellent stuff. Well, thanks for the mix, guys. Amazing.
No problem.
Great.
You have passed security.
So last weekend I was out and about doing my thing, kind of out having a rave, and I actually ended up in Ilford for a rave called IHDS Fest, and it was raining a very lot. And I dragged producer Rach and Esme along with us so that they could get muddy and wet as well, but it was an absolutely amazing time because I was playing at the Slip Back in Time arena, and I was really honoured to be able to play before a group of artists, Slipmat, Lime and JJ, you may know well as SL2. And they absolutely smashed it up, playing all the old school classics. You know, to be honest, it was hard to follow them after that. It's not an easy act to follow. But we caught up with the guys, and this is what they had to say.
It's DJ KUTSKI'S.
Slipmat here from SL2.
My name's MCJJ, I'm out of SL2. I've got Slipmat next to me and DJ Lime.
I'm John Lime, Slipmat's partner and that, in crime.
I'm Slipmat, we're at the HD Fest where we've slipped back in time over the weekend. We've just finished our SL2 PA and it went down really, really well. They love the drum and bass mixes in there. It's been really good so far. I think we've got the busiest tent as well, which is nice.
Really good, like a lot of old school ravers in there.
It's not an Essex thing, isn't it?
Yeah, around there, well, you know in Essex.
Crowd, man.
Yeah, that's it, do you know what I mean? Around there, they love it, so yeah.
It's Essex for you. We're sort of deep East Essex, and Essex just seems to love the old school thing. There's a real proper Essex crowd in there. It really shows. Yeah, I come from just up the road, yeah. Yeah, so that's my sort of crowd right there. Yeah, man, definitely. I know lots of the people here and that as well. It's good. It's been a really good turnout. It's great. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't live too far from here, so I know what they're like around here, and I know there's a big following for old school raves and that. So, you know, I mean, it's great. I mean, there's like a new generation of like kids and that who are catching on with it. I think, to be honest, I think they're getting tired with a lot of the same old they're hearing, and there's a lot of kids now that are looking for the old school and that, and yeah, it seems to be like a little revival going on at the moment. So, long may it last, eh?
Doing Glastonbury next week, which is cool. Not a slip back time, but we're doing that on SL2 DJ set at Glastonbury next week for Arcadia, which is cool. And we're doing Festival as well. There's a couple of other smaller festivals that we're doing around the country. The Glastonbury thing's like a DJ set, so we're going to have a whole hour in front of, so I've been told, about 15,000-20,000 people, I think, so that should be cool. We're doing a full PA at Festival with a DJ set as well.
Yeah, Glastonbury, but unfortunately, I can't make it, but Slipmat's going to be there, Live's going to be there.
Okay, next up, it's time for the hardest record in the world, and sometimes this can be quite a difficult feature to find that brutally hard track every week. It's not always the easiest, you have to look for artists that you've never seen before, sometimes artists you'd never have expected it to come from. But this week, it wasn't one of them weeks, it was just absolutely given to me on a plate when I got an email from a guy called Death Machine. That's going to pretty much tick all the boxes that you've got to get for this hardest record feature. So anyway, he sent me a 4-track EP through and he told me that it ranged from 160 BPM to 210 beats every minute. So needless to say, we went for the latter one on that. This is Death Machine with Synapsids, and this is the hardest record in the world right now.
Yes, KUTSKI, this is the hardest record in the world right now.
So there we go, this week's hardest record in the world. The politely named Mr. Death Machine. We were just discussing whether that's how he introduces himself into parties. And that's Synapsids, forthcoming on Third Movement.
Hello.
Radio 1.
But we're going to cheer things up a little bit now as we move into the UK hardcore mix. And a track that's earmarked for the prestigious 100th release on Evolution Records. Legendary Scottish producer. This is Scott Brown Pilgrim 2011. Chris Henry on the mix.
Hardcore, know the score.
If you hear my beats coming in, everybody jump. If you feel the speakers rumbling, everybody jump. If you're rushing on the dance floor, everybody jump. So if you wanna get hardcore, everybody jump.
Winding up the UK hardcore mix. It's a brand new one from Bishop and Tom Revolution. The new style. Electro-fused hardcore there. Coming up today on Radio 1 from 7, Matt Edmondson's in for Edith. From 5 a.m, the king of the rave, Rob the Bank. And then up next tonight, it's the Essential Mix this week with Scuba and Red Light and MC Dread recorded live. Some drum and bass flavours for you. And if you missed any of the show or you just want to catch up with these amazing beats again, catch up on the BBC iPlayer. You can check that out on the Radio 1 website. Thanks for joining me this morning. I suppose it is now at this time. Big show, I think, tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Loads of UK, European hard dance exclusives. We had Snap, Crackle, Drop from Yoji Biomehanika. We had the hardest record from Death Machine and a guest mix on a breakbeat vibe from CLSM. But just before I go, I'm going to leave you with one last track, the old school track that I leave you with every week. And this week, we're going right back to the roots. This is the sounds of the house crew. And this is We Are Hardcore.